to the ground, like a king without a crown. Whoa, why you make it hard? Don't let me down. You might as well be lost, but I'm found. I'm waiting for your love. You just keep me hanging on, and I deserve to stay, and I'll find my way. Just know you're not alone, 'cause I'm your home. I wanna be with you always. Know you're not alone, 'cause I'm your home. Whoa. In the dark we fight. You take the wrong and you make it right. Like a firefly, you're glowing at night. So don't make it hard, don't let me go. I wanna hold you tight when you're cold. I'm waiting for your love. You just keep me hanging on. I deserve to stay, and I will find my way. I will find my way. Ain't no love like a real love, but it goes so fast. All tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay my mind like standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I know no patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger, Ain't no luck finding real love. Gotta to reignite our flame. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me run. Guess all you left me run. Guess all you left me run. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me blind. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me blind. In retrospect, I could have paid attention. I could have tried harder, been smarter. Deep water, I'd be drowned. I should have felt the tension. I overreacted and acted childish, impacted it's all around. When you were pushing me away, I should have tried to give you space and get out of your way. How did I not see this coming? You'll leave them one day. Pretending no one is to blame. Too late to reignite our flame. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me run. Guess all you left me run. Guess all you left me run. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me blind. How did I not see you running? How did I get left behind? How did I not see this coming? Guess all you left me blind.
Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FRL, and we're here for the Pure Sim Gear GT3 Championship. And last round out at Zandvoort we saw quite a few amazing battles going on, and let's have a quick look at the standings. In the AM class we've got Petrovics currently leading the championship on 81 points, followed by the number 700 Lamborghini, also known as Draco 22, on 73 points. And then in third we have Danix on 72 points. Very, very close at the top of the standings. Let's have a look at the pro class now as well. Nishira, Matteo Nishira leading the championship with 92 points. A very well seasoned racer is Nishira. And we've got Sebastian in the BMW M4 up in second on 72 points. So a bigger difference in the pro class. And then Fulvio Dilapito in third with 71 points. So second and third in both the AM and the pro class, separated by just 1 point. So it's extremely close at the top of the field. But here we are in the qualifying session. No one able to set a lap time yet. We're currently on board with Amir. Just watching him go around the circuit of Zolder. Very, very narrow track. The land of the chicanes, it's also known as, in my book at least, but not an easy circuit for overtaking. And I think track position's going to be critical here. Amir is on a flying lap, so let's see what he can do coming up towards the final chicane now. Track is optimum 15 degrees, so I'm sure these drivers can get some very quick lap times in. Perfect conditions for them as Amir takes the shortest line to the start finish line, puts in a 129.280. So that's the first time coming in. Then we've got the number 510 car about to cross the line. No, I believe that was Toth, who's not able to set lap time yet, so he was on an out lap. But we've got some times coming in. Nashira now on provisional pole, 128.707. You can see him there bouncing over the inside curve, and as a result understeering out wide and picking up some of the gravel on exit. So I think he's going to be down on this lap. Yeah, he's already 4 tenths down, so this possibly won't be an improvement for him. James Williams, who's currently sitting in P9, but he is up on this lap by nearly a second. So a lot of improvement there from him already, and he's still got 2 sectors of the lap to go. And look at that, extremely close at the top. Rick puts it into P2, just 700ths off of Nashira. Extremely close between the top two. I'm sure we'll see these times tumbling down. Mate in the 64 Honda coming through the final sector now, just entering the final sector. He's got some traffic up ahead of him. This is going to hinder his lap times significantly. He was about 6 tenths up, and now he's only 2 tenths up, so he's lost 4 tenths that last corner. But there we go, the McLaren letting him past. It's still going to be up on his lap time, 4 tenths ups, to possibly place him around P... well, let's see when he crosses the line, actually, P3, there we go. So the Honda up into P3 already, I say that, and Zoschetti in the Bentley just puts in a 128.547. The Shearer seems to be going quicker, 4 tenths up, 5 tenths up. So if he can keep this together, he will be back on pole. Let's look further down the field now. The top 14 drivers separated by 1.8 seconds. A mix of Pro and Am drivers in that. Quinn Wall about to cross the line. Has he set a time? No, not able to set a time there. And he's still got 9 minutes to do so. There we go, that number 800 McLaren sets time, puts it into P8, just 7.5 tenths off the pole time. Good lap there from him, the highest sitting Am driver currently. And then the McLaren, a very, very good track around Zolder. But as we know in the last update, has been nerfed slightly. And as well as the BMW M4, this should bring them slightly closer to the rest of the cars. There we go, Nashira crossing the line, setting a 128.485 that last lap, which puts him on pole just 600ths quicker than Zoschetti. And there we go, Nashira aborting his lap. Aiden now coming through the chicanes, taking a lot of the curb on the inside. That's exactly what you need to do to maximise your entry and exit speeds here. He's using all of the track necessary. And he's 4 tenths up on his time at the moment. Let's see if he can gain a few more in this final sector. He has on entry, and he hasn't lost it on exit. So 5 tenths up now for Aiden in the 95 Bentley. 6 tenths up actually. Let's see if he can hold this. Currently sitting in P9. That's possibly going to put him in P5 as he crosses the line. Yes, there we go, P5 for Aiden. So very good lap there from him. Alex in the number 13 Lexus currently 2/10 up on his time. This qualifying is extremely close between most of the field, really. Look down there, you can see 23 cars. We do have 36 out on track at the moment, but on the tower it will show you 23 maximum, and all within 3 seconds. Alex is 3/10 up, which is very good for his time here. It's going to be close at the top. I think he's lost a 10th on exit there. On entry, sorry. But there we go. Gains 2/10. Let's see where he places. It's going to put him in P4. So there we go. Lexus number 13 of Alex Zagdal in P4. Zoschetti seems to be going faster. He's a 10th up. But I think he made a slight mistake there. He's lost some time. Sebastian now is 2/10 up on his time in the 984 BMW. But he's got some traffic up ahead of him as well. Let's hope he doesn't get hindered by this. I don't think he will. He's got enough space in front of him. So there we go. We've got Alfie Barron puts it on pole then with 128.390. Just shy of a 10th quicker than Nishira. And he's looking very, very good for qualifying here. Just 5 minutes 30 seconds left. Got a few yellow flags here. I'm not sure what's happened there. And possibly some drivers just returning to the pits. And Alfie Barron once again up on his time. 2/10 up. Let's have a look at Amir, who's currently sitting in 12th. He is 5/10 up. This is going to place him further towards the front of the grid. But last race he finished in P6. And the battle was very, very close for P1. There we go, crosses the line, puts it to P4. Just 1.7 tenths slower. And you can actually see here Nishira and Zoschetti matching lap times. So both on a 128.485. You really don't see that often. We've actually got some more matching times here. The Honda number 64 and Aiden both setting a 128.827. So 2 pairs of drivers there setting the exact same lap times. And there we go, Alfie Barron once again improves his lap time and returns it into the pits. Confident that no one else can beat his time then. Let's look further down, let's see who's actually improving on the lap. Chris Finning in the 113 BMW, currently 3/10 up, exiting the final chicane now, coming down the start-finish straight. He's lost some time, only a 10th up now, across the line. Is that going to be enough? Yes, it is. Puts it into P17. Is enough to pip the number 34 Porsche then. You've also got the number 800 McLaren of David, currently 2/10 up on his time. Oh, bouncing over the inside curb there, and he's made a mistake. That's his lap time done. And I'm sure he'll be returning to the pits. Yes, he does. And so further down, Quinn Wall. Oh, bit of a wiggle. We saw the same place that David lost it. But he's currently 8/10 up and sitting in P29. So if he can keep it together, he'll be gaining a couple positions here in qualifying. 9/10 up. Coming through the final chicane now. Looks to be good. A bit of a slide on the exit. Still a second up though. And he crosses the line. Let's see where this puts him. P22. good lap there from Quinn Wall. Ollie Clegg now a second and a half up on his time, currently sitting down in P23. And he's got the Porsche of, I'm not sure who that is, behind him. I think it's a number 60 something, 66 Porsche. But he was being held up, and he's obviously backed off now to give him enough room. But Claire crossing the line puts it into P27, 3.158 seconds off the provisional pole time. We actually got Alfie Barron out on track once again after seeing how close Zachetti has gotten to his lap time. He's wanted to improve, and he's currently 2/10 up on his best lap. 3/10 up. Let's see if he can keep it together here. Oh, bit of a wiggle on exit once again, but it hasn't hindered his lap time. 4/10 up. Is it going to be enough though? There we go, flashing lights from Baron, just warning, I believe that's Amir, that he is on a hot lap here and he's going to set a better time. Exiting the final chicane, he's kept it together and he's going to improve by 4/10. Very good lap time here from Amir, for Alfie, sorry, into the 127s. And almost 5/10 clear of any other driver on the grid. He's returned to the pits then. Aiden now 2/10 up. So he's looking at around P7 to P9 here, if he can keep it together. There we go, exits the final chicane, coming down the start, finish straight, 2/10 up. Where does this place him? Puts it in P7. Very good lap time there from Adam. That's his qualifying session over. Alfie Barron in the pits, and I don't think anyone's actually going to beat his lap time there. But Rick still out on a lap time, still out on a hot lap. He's a 10th, 2/10 up. So he could have a look here at P2, unless he can find an extra few tenths. He's actually lost some through the chicane. Yeah, Artem Kudasov also up on his time, 4/10 up, coming across the start finish line now. Where does this place him? Puts him into P21, so good time there from Kudasov. Rick still on the lap. Don't think it's going to be an improvement for him. Bit of a wiggle on the exit as well. Yellow flags are being waved. There we go, that's his qualifying session over. And it doesn't seem like anyone else is going to improve, so we'll be back very shortly for the race. Make sure to stay tuned. Here we go then on the full formation lap here at Zolder. We've got Rachidas in the comments saying good luck to all. Great job, guys. Yeah, good luck to all the drivers out on track. Let's hope they can keep it clean into turn 1. But Zolder being a very narrow track, I think it's inevitable that there will be a few collisions here. But let's hope there isn't. And if you are wondering who your commentator is and broadcaster is for tonight, it is the only G, and I'm sure Rachidas will know who that is. But yeah, great to see you here on the stream. And here we go, Baron, Alfie Baron, as we saw, set the pole time in qualifying, followed by Zachetti lining up on the front row with him, Rick and Gomez on the second row. And actually, our championship leader, Nashira, down in P6 for the pro category. But that just shows how close qualifying was. We saw pretty much the top 6, top 7 within a tenth or 2 tenths, which is unbelievably close. But yeah, track is very cold actually here at Zolder. Only 13 degrees, so I'm sure these drivers are going to be trying to get some heat into their tyres and brakes. You can see there Alfie and Zachetti just riding the brakes there. All of the top drivers actually just riding the brakes, trying to get some heat into the tyres as they approach the end, towards the end of the formation lap. Zachetti with a bit of weaving there. Don't think that's going to do much. Riding the brake is the best thing to do to get heat into the tyres and brakes. But here we go, lining up side by side now for the formation lap. Here we go, 45 minutes at Zolder. Drivers lining up side by side. I think the Bentley of, I think that was Gomez, a bit eager to get going. But we're about to cross the start-finish line here at Zolder, and we are green, green, green. Looks like Alfie Baron got jumped at the start. We know starting second does give you a slight advantage, but Alfie Baron managing to hold on to P1, Zachetti holding on to P2, and Rick up into P3. Gomez, I think, is still in P4, but he's got the Porsche of Dilipito looking to make a move on him very early on. Both in a yellow and green coloured car there, but it seems to be very, very clean into turn 1. Let's have a look further down the field here. Doesn't seem like there's been any contact really. Oh, we actually do have the number 77 car who's unfortunately had an incident, but let's hope he can get it going shortly. Let's head back to the front of the grid then. Alfie Baron still holding on, but we've got a train of cars here, and Alfie's definitely not going to have an easy one at Zolder, but we know it's such a narrow circuit, so easy to defend. And that was the Bentley of Gomez having a look up the inside, but had to back out of that one. It's not close enough. He's just trying to show himself in the rearview mirrors of the number 16 BMW. But he has to be careful. He's got Dilipito and the 68 Porsche very close behind him. He doesn't want to open the door up to him anytime soon. But he's made his mistake into turn 1, and Dilipito's trying to have a look around the outside that didn't come off as he thought it would. He's just going to have to settle for P5 for now. He's got Nashira right on the back of him. As a result, that's the Bentley running wide there, kicking up a bit of gravel. That's going to allow Dilipito to pull alongside him, coming down towards the chicane. Going to need to leave enough room for each other, and there we go. Porsche having to back out, and then Nishira has now got the run. Coming down the second chicane, he's going to have the inside. And later on the brakes, bit of contact there. And Dilipita off the track, but he's managed to rejoin safely ahead of Nishira. And actually get another position there in front of the Bentley of Gomez. It's a bit controversial from him. And contact, big contact there between the Bentley and the Porsche of Dilipito. Dilipito coming out worse from that. I think Dilipito coming out worse from that. He's all the way down. And Pedro actually. Pedro now down in P12 and Dilipito down in P17. And that's allowed Alfie Barron to open up a gap at the top. 1.2 seconds to Sacchetti, who's got Tadima very close behind him. We've got all of these cars lining up for the battle for P4. Seems like Toth and Nishira have slightly broken away from Amir and I believe that is the number 84 Bentley of Attila. Yes, it is. There we go. But Amir still doing a good job at defending against the Bentley. Coming through the second chicane now. I believe he's made a slight gap to the Bentley there, coming through the start of the third sector. Let's look further down the field. Seems to be quite a few battles going on actually. P10, we've got, wow, there's a lot of cars here in such a narrow track. And amazing that they've all kept it clean in the mid-pack here. But currently leading this group, we have Artem Kudasov in P8, followed by Aiden, then the Honda number 64, and rounding off this group we have the number 65 McLaren of Damstra, who I believe is the highest leading AM driver at the moment, battling for positions with the pro driver here. But I think he just needs to keep his nose clean. Oh, he jumps over the chicane there. That's not going to help him at all. But he's trying to have a look into the second chicane. A bit too far back. He's going for a very, very late move there. Makes a slight bit of contact, but didn't come out well for him. And look in the background. We've got an unbelievable amount of cars here. Quinn Wall leading this group of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's countless number of cars. And it looks like Pedro Gomez has made up a position there. Just going to wait for the cameraman to pan over very, very slowly. There we go. Now Pedro made a move on Sebastian. So Pedro up to P14. Sebastian down into P15, but he's dived into the pits then. So an early pit stop for Sebastian. Doesn't want to get caught up in all of this battling early on. So I think a very wise choice there for Sebastian. Let's actually go on board with the Bentley. Oh, there's been contact there. Look how close that Porsche is. But I think the Bentley of Gomez has done 3 cars in one corner, and he's up into P12. So a very good driving there from Gomez, just capitalising on the battles going on ahead. And I believe that's Chris Vinning in the background as well, trying to go for a move on the Porsche. Or defending from the Porsche actually, and he's done so successfully. Let's go back to the gap, the race at the top. Alfie loses some time to Zachetti now. He's just managing the gap. But Zachetti closing the gap down to about 8 seconds. It was a second last time we saw these two drivers. Let's see what it is when they cross the line here. It's back to a second. So Alfie just managing the gap, but he's not going to have this one easy, I don't think. And now the Shearer, a bit of a slide from the Shearer on the exit of turn 1. Has to be very, very careful here. But you can tell he's really pushing the car to try and catch up to the back of Tadema and the number 16 BMW. Now if you are watching, let's see if we can get some predictions of your top 3 drivers for this race. Who do you think is going to finish in the top 3? Now let's head back to the battle for P13. Quinn Wall having a look up the inside, but Chris Vinning's done a great job of defending. So Quinn has to wait for another day to make the move. Chris Vinning going defensive once again, moves back over to the racing line. The Lexus is hot on his tail here, coming through the second chicane. He's made a slight mistake there and nearly lost the car. And as a result, lost a lot of time to Vinning in front. He's now got Mark in the 66 Porsche all over the back of him. Likewise, Sergio Oz in the 503 Aston. You can see in the background another battle going on for P16. Lamborghini doing a good job at holding off the 2 other cars behind, but that's Alex up into, very too soon, and I think that's the Porsche not leaving enough room. I'm not too sure on that one. But they return side by side, coming down the start-finish straight. And it looks like Alex has got the move done. Porsche not happy with that. Flash of the lights there from him. But obviously we'll leave it all to the steward. Still flashing his lights here. Let's go back to the top. Alfie Barron still managing the gap. I believe they've just passed some traffic. And Tadema likewise holding off the Shearer. That last lap, the Shearer 4/10ths quicker, 128.425, whereas Tadema only did a 128.855. Sorry, a 128.855. And the last lap from the race leader, Alfie Barron, is actually the fastest lap of the race at 128.077. So almost lapping in quali times, nearly into the 127s, but they are significantly slower that last lap, 129s. So possibly encountering some traffic. But the gap between the two hasn't really increased much, still about around a second. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's go back down to the battle for P14. Looks like the Porsche has actually got past Quinn there. So Quinn Wall dropping down into P14. He's got to be thinking about the drivers behind. Sergio Oz, Alex, Zagdow and Nicholas Keel. We've got quite a few drivers into the pits now. Number 700 Lamborghini, Brett Smith and James Williams there, all driving into the pits. But this seems to be the battle to watch. 3 cars all battling out. Quinn is still opened up a slight gap to these drivers ahead, and Lexus of Zagdow having a look up the inside, but he's made contact with the Aston Martin. And Oz is certainly not going to be happy about that one. He's lost another position due to the contact. But he's still got time to make his way back up. Let's look further down now. Petrovic is in the AMGs. I think he's got a bit of damage on the front of that car. Not sure if that's just the livery. Or is that the body? No, he does have some damage on the front, so that's going to hinder his lap times here. And I believe he's currently leading the AM class. Oh no, he's not, sorry. Yes, he is, sorry. He's currently leading the AM class on 81 points. And Draco, the 700 Lamborghini, is down in P23, but he served his mandatory pit stop. So we'll see where he comes out in comparison to Petrovic when Petrovic serves his mandatory stop. But let's go back to this battle now that the Lexus of Alex has got past Oz. He's been able to close down the gap to Quinn ahead, and I think that is the Ferrari. Is that Amir? Has he made a mistake somewhere? Yes, he has, and I'm not sure what's happened to him. Seems to have some damage on the front of that Ferrari, but he's lost a haul of positions there. So all his hard work undone. He's going to have to make the places back up again. But Quinn Wall losing a position to Zach Dow. Alex able to make the move done cleanly this time around, and he's up into P14. There we go. Amir diving into the pits then. Gap at the top still quite close, but here we go. Nashira has got past Tadima, but Tadima's not going to let him get away with this one easily. Still right behind him. But neither driver able to match the pace of the leaders in front. Actually, I say that, and the last lap from Zachetti and Nashira was exactly the same, 128.715. And Tadima also very, very close at 128.717. But no match for Alfie Barron in the 128.5s. But there we go, Nashira's got some clean track ahead of him. Is he thinking about going defensive here? No, moves back over to the racing line. Number 16 BMW is a bit too far back to go for a move into turn 1 then. Got some support in the comments for Attila in the number 8 Bentley here. Is currently running in P6. But let's go down to this battle. Nicholas Keel holding off Alex there in the Lexus, and I believe the Porsche driver has some damage on the right hand side of his car. Doesn't look too bad, other than the rear actually. It doesn't look too bad though, so it may not hinder him as much as we think. But the Lexus with a superior straight line speed compared to the Porsche. But not many straights here at Zolder. There's a lot of fast corners. But yeah, straight line speed not the priority at Zolder. And you can see all the Porsche getting very, very loose going into the chicane, possibly picking up a track warning for that. Looks like he cut a lot of the track, but he's gained some time on the Lexus. And I'm really not sure how he kept the car together there. So good driving from both these two. Let's look further down the field. Seems there are any battles going out. Seems to be mostly people just pitting. And oh, we've had a DSQ there. That's Andriani, who's disqualified. Not sure if that could have been for speeding in the pit lane. See if we can get confirmation on that. Just don't usually see many DSQs here. And Zagdow still not able to get past the mighty Porsche of Nicholas Kiel. Both here in a different class, but it's an amazing battle to watch nevertheless. And, there's a 3-car battle going in the background. I believe that's Quinn Wall involved in it as well. Yes, he is. That's Sergio Oz having a look down the inside. Bit of contact under the braking zone, but Oz having to back out of that one. And I believe that is the Ferrari of Amir on the back of these guys, who's served his mandatory pit stop. And he's losing a lot of time to the drivers in front. So he's not battling for position. They are on different strategies, and are possibly not the best strategy call from Amir. So he needs to get past these two drivers as soon as possible, because he's losing so much time to them every lap. And here we go, he's trying to go around the outside, but not successful there. Quinn really trying to get the move done on Sergio up ahead of him. But he's lost some time to Sergio actually. Let's look back to the battle for the lead. Alfie Baron still leading the race, but Zachetti following closely behind. Let's see what the lap times are like that last lap. 129s for both drivers. 129, 117 from Alfie, 129.132 from Zachetti, so extremely close between the two. And I think Zachetti just thinking of settling for second here. Both drivers matching lap times pretty much, so it's going to be very difficult for Zachetti to catch up, close the gap to him at least. He may be relying on pit stops though. We'll see what the strategies are like for both drivers. But let's go back to the battle for P10. Keo, I think he's lost out some time actually. And Zagdow down into P12 as well, so we're not sure what happened to him. He was battling with Kiel for P10, but we didn't quite catch that on stream. Imagine Shearer and Tadima countering some traffic in the final sector now. But Nishira hoping this can help him break away from Tadima, but no, I don't think it has. Gap's still relatively the same. You saw Tadima bouncing over the inside curves through the final chicane, and as a result he's lost some of his exit speed. Coming down the start-finish straight, see the gap says 8 tenths between the two drivers, P3 and P4. So Nishira using the traffic to his advantage. There we go, Attila into the pits, Kudasov into the pits, quite a few other drivers into the pits as well, Zagdow and Quinn, who are very, very close on track, so let's see where they come out relative to each other. Tadima now still quite close to Nishira, gap now 9 tenths between the two. I think it may have come down slightly in that last corner. Not too sure actually, but the Shearer trying to navigate past traffic. This is going to slow him down. This is going to be helpful for the BMW. But there we go, the Aston moving off the racing line, letting the lead cars through. Tadma trying to use the slipstream of the Aston to his advantage. There we go, halfway through the race now. But it doesn't seem like Tadma was able to close in much. Only about 0.2. But it's enough to keep him confident, and that's Nishira very, very loose on the exit. But he's kept it together now. Let's hope that hasn't lost him his confidence. Because the BMW seems to be much closer there coming through the chicane. And the gap's about 0.4 now between the two. I'd say, oh, less now. Definitely less now. Nishira catching a bit of the grass on the exit. He's going to have to be thinking about defending, but doesn't want to lose too much time, so he could possibly put it into the pits at some point, anytime soon really. But Baron deciding to pit. That's going to promote Nishira into the provisional race lead. Let's go down to the battle for P13 then. Looks like Kudasov is quite close to the number 65 Mclaren ahead of him. But we know Damstra very, very quick in the AM category. So is Artem Kudasov able to catch up to him? I think he's actually lost some time. There we go, 1.2 seconds. The gap between the two now. Quinn Wall, there we go. After coming out the pits, he's lost a position to Zakdal. So Zakdal jumping Quinn in the pits. And here we go. What's happened to Oz? Sergio Oz. He's down in. Oh, he's up in P15 there. So he's come out ahead of Wall and Zakdal. And it looks like Quinn Wall has lost the position to the Lamborghini there in front, number 700 Lamborghini. So Wall down into P18 then. But he's still glued to the rear bumper of the Lamborghini. Is he able to respond to the move? Lamborghini running a bit wide, kicking up some dirt in the air, but no. Quinn not able to capitalise on that. And Nicholas Keel into the pits. He's exited. Where is he on track? That's not him. Where is Nicholas Keel in P13? Coming out of the pits now. Will he be quite close to anyone? He's got the another Porsche behind him. Is that the number 66? No, it's not. But no, seems like he's come out. Oh, it is actually, sorry. It is the number 66, so he's come out ahead of Mark. So Keo now looking to pull away from Mark behind, but he'll be on colder tyres. And that damage definitely won't be helping him at all. Let's go back to the battle for P1. The gap's still relatively the same. Nishira just managing the gap once again. But we'll see if he comes into the pits this time around. No, continues to go. I assume both these top two drivers will keep it late towards the end. They've got clean track in front of them. Let's go back to this battle between the two Porsches, number 34 and number 66. Can Mark get past Nicholas Keel here? The gap seems to be about the same for those two Porsches coming onto the 17th lap for them now. Looks like we've had a change of position as well. Oliver Brett Smith managing to get the move done on Quinn Wall. So Quinn Wall losing another position. But compared to where he started, let's actually check where he started. Started down in P24 and he's made 5 positions since then. And Brett Smith, starting in P34, has made up 16 positions so far. So I believe that's the most gained positions so far. And we'll see when the other drivers pit. We'll see after the pit stops. So that's when the real positions will show. Looks like Nashira into the pits then. Tadema looking to go out long here. He's got quite a bit of clean air in front of him, and he's going to utilise this because Nashira may or may not come out in traffic. That's the risk with pitting early. There we go, Nashira now exiting the pits. Field seems to be a bit more spread out now. Let's look further down. There's actually a battle going on for P22, I believe. The Honda of the Honda 64, who's actually lost 10 positions off the start. Was running well early on in the race, but not able to keep up the good performance. But Derek not able to keep up actually. I think he's lost some time to the Honda. But still running strong here in P23 in the M category as well. Let's look further back at the top then. Rick now into the pits. Alfie is coming through the second chicane there, about to enter sector 3. Where is Zachetti and even the Shearer? Looks like Zachetti. What's happened here? The Shearer has no, he was in P4, sorry. So Zachetti has actually got past Alfie Barron then. And can Rick jump either of these two? It's going to be quite close actually. I think Zachetti and Barron might have it though. Yeah, they definitely have it because Rick has not exited the pits yet. So Zachetti now into the race lead. This is going to be great for the championship. We saw last week as well Zachetti finishing in P4, extremely close to the top 3 really, but wasn't able to get a podium unfortunately. But he's looking good for a race win today. Just needs to hold off Alfie Barron for another 13 minutes, and with a big of a car as the Bentley, I'm sure it will be easy to hold off Alfie here, especially on such a narrow circuit like Zolder. But they're encountering some traffic now. This could play in Alfie's favour. Also got Toth. Oh, I think that's Toth. Oh, that's another driver who's off ahead. Toth still holding on to P7. Aiden Now got the Mclaren. No, a bit too far back there. So Aiden's just looking ahead of him now. Doesn't have to worry about any cars behind. He's about a second to top up ahead in the BMW. Let's go on board with the Bentley then. Coming down into turn 1, takes a lot more curb than the BMW, and he's actually gained some time due to that different line. The Bentley a lot more understeer. You can see had to short shift on exit to maintain traction. You can hear the front tyres struggling as we get towards the end of the later stages of this race. Not taking as much curb as you'd think they would. But Alfie's got a nice run coming down to the chicane. Has to look up the inside, but no, has to back out of that. Sparks flying just up ahead. And the rear end of Toth really getting quite sideways there. Aiden picking up a bit of the dirt on entry, and that's compromised his exit. But they're catching up to Petrovic, who's yet to make his pit stop. Let's go back to the race lead here. Look how close Baron is to Zoschetti, but he's not able to get past yet. He's got time to do so. I think that his best bet would just be to try and force Zoschetti into a mistake, and he's extremely close under the brakes there. But just getting the car stopped in time. But Zoschetti opening a slight gap to Baron. This is going to give him some breathing room and a chance to finally not look in his rearview mirrors. But you can hear the TC coming into action there, the traction control. Just limiting the power on exit to stop the wheels spinning. On board with Alfie now. Very close to Zoschetti in front, but still not close enough to make a move. He's just biding his time here. Being a bit patient, but he flies over the second curb of the chicane. He's just trying to push the car a bit too hard. But overdriving the car is not going to help. I think he's got slightly deep under the brakes. Zochetti's opening up a gap now, 6/10 to Zoschetti. That's more than enough breathing room for him. He knows Baron can't go for a move this far back, so just needs to try and manage the gap now. But let's look further down. The Shearer has got Aiden on the back of him. He's encountered some traffic, so the Shearer actually losing a position to Attila somewhere. We didn't quite catch that, but he's down into P5 now, possibly under fire for another position. Aiden there, you can see flash of lights, letting the back markers know that he's coming through. But we can't take our eyes off this battle for the lead. Alfie is glued to the rear bumper now of Zachetti. Has a look coming down into the chicane, but no, has to back out of that. The McLaren there, the back marker has to be careful. And Zachetti cutting a bit of the chicane, and that's going to compromise his exit. McLaren seems to be much stronger there. But Zachetti going defensive very, very early on. Now back over to the racing line. He's gone slightly deep on the brakes. That's allowed Alfie to go down the inside. He's going to have the outside for the final chicane. But could this be the move he needs to get into P1? Very, very close between the two. Both drivers leaving enough room for each other, but no. Zachetti just keeping the car slightly ahead. And Baron had to back out of that one. But Zachetti keeping the car in the middle of the track now. Moving back over to the racing line. Baron not able to get past yet. But he just needs to keep making attempts like that. And I'm sure he'll cause Zachetti to make a mistake. See there, Baron not taking as much curb as he did last time around, but the Bentley able to take a lot more curbing in these chicanes. But he's gone quite deep once again. You can see on the exit, Baron is caught up. And he's right on the back of him once again, so it's evident that just a slight mistake can lose you 4 or 5 tenths. The McLaren seems to be much stronger there as well through that very tight right-hander. And is he going to have a look coming down to the final chicane? No, it's not able to. He has to back out of that one once again. Now they're encountering some traffic. Going to have to get past as cleanly as possible. Bit of a slide from the Bentley in front, but he's only got 5 minutes left to hold on. And likewise, Baron only has 5 minutes to make a move. We've got Keel with a drive-through penalty. Assume that would be track limits there. So unfortunate for Keel. But Alfie making a slight mistake, picking up some grass, and it's not going to help his tyres. He gets very, very close on the braking, completely outbrakes himself. And Zachetti once again has got that gap he needed. But it's not over yet. Alfie's still very, very close. And mistakes from Zachetti could cause Alfie Baron to move up a position. Let's go down to the battle for P9. Looks like Kudasov and Chris Vinning making some contact coming into the chicane. Kudasov down into P9, Vinning up into P8 then. The Shearer still holding on to... Oh, he's actually made the move on Attila, so the Shearer up into P4. Attila down into P5. He's got Aiden very close to the back of him with 3 Bentleys battling it out for P4 here. Out at Zolder. But it looks like Nashira is able to open up the gap. And now it's just Aiden versus Attila. Number 84 versus 95. bouncing over the chicane there. I think there's someone off in the background. Didn't quite catch who that was, but we'll keep an eye. On this battle. Now let's head back to battle for P1. Zachetti still holding on, but it doesn't look like he had the best exit. And Baron tried to go for it, got a bit of oversteer, and I think he's going to have to slot back in for another lap. He's just got, I believe we're going to have 2 more laps. This one and 1 more. So Alfie Baron is running out of time. He needs to be a bit more aggressive here, but it's a case of being close enough on the exit of one corner to get the run down into the next corner. But he's just not able to get close enough to run going for a move. Let's go down to the battle for P10. Looks like Zachtel's made the move on the number 66 Porsche. So he's up into P10. And the Porsche down into P11. Let's have a quick look further down the field. Doesn't seem like there are any battles going on. So we'll switch back to the top 2. Baron using much more of the exit curb compared to Zachetti, but I don't think it's gained him much time there. Now his best bet would be into the heavy braking zone, so turn 1 being one of them. Here we go, on the final lap, as you heard from race control. And Zachetti still holding on from starting in second. Both taking slightly different lines through turn 1. I think Baron's just trying everything he can now to get past. And he's having a look up the inside. Flashing lights there, just trying to distract Zachetti. It's resorting to every tactic in the book, but it's really not working. Zachetti's still not fazed by that. He's holding on to P1 here, coming through the second chicane for the last time. Now down into sector 3, Zachetti. Let's get a rear view wing cam here. See how close Baron gets under the brakings. Not close enough. See there on the exit, he loses slightly. And I think if Zachetti doesn't make a mistake in this final corner, he's going to have it. Baron not able to do anything. Just has to sit there behind the Bentley. And there we go, Zachetti. Flashing lights from both drivers. Zachetti finishing in P1. Alfie Baron in P2. Rick Tadema starting in P3 and keeping his position. So he's finishing in P3. Aiden started 8th and all the way up into P4. So a great result from him. We'll wait for him to cross the line here. But 4 positions is definitely a good result. But there's a Porsche off in the background there. Not sure who that is. Bit of a celebration from Aiden. Scherer in P5, Attila in P6, Toth crossing line in P7 then, Fitting in P8, Kudasov in P9, and Zachtel in P10, Mark in P11, but it's not over yet for these drivers. I think Mark is a bit too far back though to go for a move. And Oz likewise in P12. There we have it, just crossing the line. And just waiting for Oz, who I believe is the last one to finish. There we go, Oz finishing in P12. We've actually got someone else out on track. Who have we got? Let's just double check. Amir's in the pit, so he won't be finishing, and I think that's all for the race. So there we go, Zachetti finishing in P1, Baron in P2, and Rick in P3. There we go, the fireworks here at Zolder for the completion of the race. But make sure to tune in next week for, let's see where we're at next week. We've just been at Zolder, and we're off to Kyle Army for next week, so make sure to tune in there. Same time, 8 PM BST now, I believe it would be. So until then, have a great week and have a great evening. Good night.